Welcome to the Lessons from the Tank podcast. This week, I have Michael and Shirah from NightCapIt, and they talk about how a passion project to keep people safe turned into a business that they got huge support on Shark Tank. This is so great. These two young people are so impressive. You are going to love it. Well, thank you so much, guys, for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I am so excited to have you guys talking today. Number one, I think it was like the fastest pitch and acceptance in Shark Tank history. It was amazing to watch you guys. But then also, as since our podcast is about lessons from the tank, and you guys are so young in your entrepreneurial, entrepreneurial. Oh man, I'm trying to think of the word. Life, I guess. I think it would be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what you guys have learned and what advice that you have. So, man, we're going to have some fun today. So,
I'm excited.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your product. So you guys are NightCapIt, which is genius, absolutely genius product. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came up with the idea and what you're doing?
So NightCap is a hair scrunchie that can be worn on your wrist or in your hair. And when you go out to the bar, a restaurant, club, you feel uncomfortable, there's a little cover inside of the pocket of the scrunchie. It comes out and it goes right over the top of your drink. It has a straw hole, so you just put in a straw and drink with peace of mind.
So essentially, it makes sure that some unscrupulous person that wants to take advantage of a woman can't just drop something in while you're not paying attention. That's the function of it, right?
It's essentially a replacement. Yeah, it's essentially a replacement for putting your hand over your drink or a napkin over your drink, which is like a really common thing that people do. It's not for leaving your drink unattended. You don't go to the bathroom and just leave it on the counter because you have one on. It's really for when your drink is next to you or while you're holding it. It's like an additional safety measure to drink supervision, because it happens so much even right when it's right next to you or when you're holding your drink. So as long as you don't leave your drink unattended and then you use this product, you have a much better chance of staying safe.
Well, first of all, I just want to say it sickens me that your product is necessary, but I am so glad that there are innovative people like you that are out there thinking about this and working on ways to protect people in those types of scenarios. Because again, it's an unfortunate need for your product, but I'm also blown away with the fact that you guys saw this need and came up with the idea. So how did you come up with the idea? For those of us that I watched the episode. For anybody that's listening that didn't watch the episode, can you tell us a little bit of how you came up with the idea?
Yeah. So my friend was in college and she had this happen to her, but actually a couple weeks later, I went to sleep one night and I thought of it in a dream. So I say that I slept on it because I thought of it in a dream, and when I woke up, I talked to my dad, and we kind of sat down, and instead of explaining it to him, I got my mom's pantyhose and a scrunchie from my room, and I made a prototype. So that's how the first prototype and NightCap was born.
That's so awesome. First of all, kudos to you for number one, not just waking up and going, oh yeah, I guess that would be a cool idea. Somebody should do that. I hear that a lot. I hear, even with my product, we're like, oh, somebody should have done that a long time ago. Or, hey, I thought about that a long time ago, but never did anything with it. The fact that you did something with it, and something as simple as, the pantyhose, that's genius. So great job there. So from there, though, you had to take this rough prototype and get it to market somehow. What did that process look like for you guys? And you had to bring your brother in at some point, right? So how did that work?
Yeah, so I came home for the summer. It was like I was going into my last semester of undergrad. and I saw her little prototype on the table, and what I loved about it was that it was reusable. I didn't think people were going to buy something over and over and over again for every single drink they use. I'm in college. I've seen kids go out and have 15 drinks in one night. So how many how many of them are you going to buy? I loved that you could wear it and you didn't have to it wasn't something that you had to bring with you. And most importantly, I love that the scrunchy aspect of it makes it kind of a fun thing to use instead of something that you have to scare people into using. In a sense, it's like a marketable lid, right? How it's hard to just scare young people into using a protective device, but in this case, we don't have to because it's also something like cool and trendy and fun, even though the purpose of it is very serious. And I talked about that on the show when we called it a fun solution to a serious problem.
Yeah,
No, and then as for the like getting going with it, we hired a local seamstress, and we had her create like a prototype, like a more official prototype, and then we're like, okay, we don't like this and this, and then we had her go back and make another one. Okay, we don't like this and this. We had her make another one. Fix this and this, and then after like five, I think we had like five different versions of that. We sent it off to a product development company, and they kind of like perfected it to the product that you see today.
that's so cool. So you have a working unit, right? So now you have something that looks like it is today. You're you think you have a great idea. What's next steps? So what happened at that point? So now you're like, I need to sell some of these, right? Is that where you guys were kind of faced with?
Yeah, we went and we started an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign for a couple of reasons. One, because we had no money, uh, and two, to kind of just like see if people would actually buy it, and like see if could we sell $12,000 worth of these. Like I don't know, let's find out. And so we kind of created that and used that money to fund the first production run. We found a factory in Dallas, Texas, and they made like we made like 4,000 units to both provide those to the Indiegogo people, and then to have a nice amount to like launch our website with, and that's kind of how it got going.
So 4,000 units. You guys had no money. You got a Indiegogo. So I assume that you guys sold some. How did that go with the first announcement out into the marketplace?
It was actually a struggle. We almost didn't hit that goal. It was like really, really hard to sell these at first. We had no idea what we were doing. We were trying to like figure out how to sell them, and it was kind of a little demoralizing at some points for the first couple months trying to sell them. Just there was some days we sold like none or sold one, and I don't know, it was hard. It was hard, but we had just enough where we thought like, okay, if we can figure out actually like how to market this and get it in front of the right people, that it has potential. It's yeah,
So at that point, so now you did the crowdfunding. You said, okay, we have some ups and downs here. We sold some. We're a little frustrated. What made you get to that next point where you decided to keep going? Because again, according to the episode, you guys did a crowdfunding, but then you went to some family members and they made an investment into your product and into you. How did that conversation go?
Our parents were super supportive. I know our dad was like, just when Shira showed our dad the prototype, like he was like all for it. He like, I think he was the most excited one about it, and he wanted to pitch in from the beginning. And then also, so I mean, it was hard to convince them to help us out a little bit with it. And then I was able to go win a bunch of awards at Florida State, and be able to. I think we raised like $15,000 just from awards and grants from the school. So I won my tuition back, which was nice.
That's great. So so now you're on your way, and again, according to what I saw in the episode, sales were slow, and then all of a sudden, like something clicked. Like you guys, you started getting some things figured out online. Maybe it was your marketing, your website, things like that. What was? Do you have like a key to that, or do you have like you just kept pounding away at it until you got it right?
I think Shira has a good answer for this.
Yeah,
Well, we discovered an app.
an app. Oh my
called-
goodness. Okay.
It's called TikTok.
Ah.
And this app, TikTok, shows your video to many, many people, and sometimes you go viral on this app. So we ended up making a TikTok. I think it was January of 2020 or something.
No, it was in March. Was the first
Okay.
one.
March. And then I had fun with it while we were in quarantine, so we ended up going viral, and that's kind of where like the explosion of sales came from. And then we just kind of kept going and going, and right now I think we have 125 million views on TikTok
Oh
just
my goodness.
throughout all of our videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a combination of redoing our website, because we had a couple TikToks at first that went viral and we didn't get that many sales from it,
Mhm.
and then we redid our website, and then even that the same video went viral again. It like ran out of nowhere. Like it just started going. I don't know. The TikTok algorithm is really like a different breed, and it just started going viral again. And then when we had the new website up, we got the sales like were double or triple. Like the conversion rate was much higher. And so basically the funny story from, I guess, behind the tank is that I never actually said where these sales were coming from. Like I just said it was social media,
Mhm.
and that was because the week that we filmed the show was the same week that Trump said that he was banning TikTok, and so I was freaking out all like the whole week. Trying to figure out like what am I if I have to tell them that these sales are coming from TikTok, and that our one source of like web traffic is about to be like deleted, then I was trying to figure out ways to kind of talk around that, but I couldn't. I had some like answers. I had some things planned to say, but they didn't ask. So I just kind of went with the broad answer on it.
So, all right. So now you guys start seeing some sales, and you go and film Shark Tank. Let's talk about that experience. First of all, scariest thing ever, or were you guys like cool? Because for me, it was the worst experience of my entire life. Like the nerves and leading up to it was just insane. I mean, did you guys have the same experience, or were you guys just chill about the whole thing?
I think honestly, just thinking about how I felt right before walking on like makes me a little sick.
Me too. But like I get the butterflies again just thinking about the doors opening and the cameraman walking backwards in front of me. So
I was cool at so how there's two double doors.
yep.
Like there's the ones and then so the ones that you're like standing there for a few minutes. Like I was cool. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like I'm totally good. And then like those open and you start walking through, and then the next one's open and you see them, and it's just like, oh my God, how did I get here? And then your life like flashes before your eyes, and then I just like I went from 0 to 100 right there.
Yeah, the doors open and you just see Mr. Wonderful's head like right there, like in the crack.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
scary.
terrifying.
it is, and
I think-
even trying to describe it to someone who hasn't been through it is impossible. It really is. I haven't been able to effectively articulate what that feeling is like to someone who isn't one of us, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Well, I was listening to your one of the other interviews you did with Hug Sleep.
Uh-huh.
I forgot his name. But what you guys were saying about how you black out and then you don't remember anything you said, and then it feels like you're out there for 5 minutes, and like those two things were 100% true. Like I was trying to like talk more at the end just to like extend it so they could make an episode because I thought we were out there for legitimately 5 minutes. I didn't realize like it was actually 30 minutes, but I did not realize that it was like I was terrified that we were going to go in there and get a deal so fast that we weren't going to get aired.
And I know, again, just watching it, it does feel like that with your episode, that like you guys walked out, you kind of said your piece, and are like, and Lori's like, all right, well, I'm in. See ya. It really felt like you guys got off so easy, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but it was just like you have a great product, you have a great story, you have a great mission. I mean, helping women and people not be taken advantage of is a great, and it's an amazing mission. And then like you didn't even have to like negotiate. She pretty much gave you what you. I mean, she put a little spin on it, but not much. So man, congratulations! It was so fun watching you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was in shock, like where after it happened because, we had been in that hotel for so long, and we had these like packet of like questions that we were just like practicing, like, okay, what are you gonna say if you hear this? And I had watched almost every Shark Tank episode before just to like, okay, what do they want to hear? What do they not want to hear? Like, what should I not say? What should we say? And so Shirah had a lot of the like story and like marketing questions, and I had a lot of like the business and numbers questions prepared. And I had like 24 questions in this packet that like I was like, okay, they're gonna ask like most of these, and because I had all the numbers questions, and I only answered. They only asked 4 of them. 4 out of the 24 of the questions and so Shirah ended up talking like 3-4 times as long as I did because it was all about like the story and the product, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't have to prepare for any of this because they didn't ask me any numbers.
Good job, Shirah.
But it definitely, thank you. It definitely like helped because we were over prepared. So I felt pretty confident going in there, and I honestly feel bad for people who don't prepare because I don't know how they do it.
I feel the same way. For 2 weeks, my partners quizzed me, like drilled me for 2 weeks. I knew our business inside and out. Like, how can somebody go on this show and not know like what's going to be asked of them? Like, that seems so ridiculous to me, but it happens every week. So
yeah, there were.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, just like the weeks leading up to it, like Michael and I like stayed in our house, like didn't see anyone because we wanted to like be safe and like not get COVID before we went. But it was like, oh, Shark Tank's on, like we're watching it like every single time, every single episode. Like I think Michael could probably say every single company that's been on the show.
I was an absolute machine just watching them and then just creating these like packets for us to practice with, and then for the pitch, like we had Shirah printed out all the pictures of all the sharks, and we would we got them all spread out like in the order we thought they were gonna sit, and then we would blast music and stuff. We would do anything we can to like distract ourselves so that we would know the pitch regardless of like what happened or like what even if you're thinking about something completely different, you could still like memorize the pitch in your head and just regurgitate it. And yeah, it was actually pretty funny, but
yeah, looking back, it's funny. Well, when you're in the middle of it, you're like, man, I have to do this. This is what I have to do. So, and go ahead. Sorry.
When you have someone else with you, so like when you're doing with 2 people, so when Shirah is talking, all I had to do was just think like, oh my God, don't mess this up. Like there's like you have too much time to think when someone else is pitching with you.
I never thought of it like that because I was, watching people that do, 2 people. I was kind of jealous. I'm like, man, it would be great to have somebody there to, pick up the slack whenever I don't know or I stumble. But I guess you're right. Yeah, when you're sitting there, I can't imagine just being silent and staring at them. So good point. Really good point. So one thing that I'd like to talk about with you guys is your passion for what you're doing. Because you had mentioned earlier, this wasn't an easy go of things. You did some things that didn't really pan out very well. But the thing that I got from your episode was you guys have this passion for your company, to be successful. You have a passion for helping people. You don't do something like you're doing just because you think you can make $1 at it. Again, my feeling is you really legitimately want to help people. And if your efforts help one person not get taken advantage of, it's worth it. Again, that's just my impression of you guys. And then your passion became Lori's passion. You could see it. Again, my opinion, she made her, as soon as you started showing it off, said why, why this needed created. She made the decision. And then the other sharks didn't even have a chance to jump in. She wanted it. So talk to me about, how your passion has taken you through some of the hard times, and then also, into Shark Tank, and how you brought that to the sharks.
Well, personally, I knew about the problem for a long time. But now it's a completely different story. Just because we have this company, people come to us to tell their stories. So
Wow.
we've heard everything in the book, and the best, I think, comment or review, or there's been 2 people that came to us and told us that they were using their nightcap, and when they saw their drink, there was a pill on top of the nightcap. So potentially we saved 2 lives. And just those messages mean that there's been so many more people that could have been potentially saved with this product, which is very cool.
That's incredible. I mean, oh my goodness, I just got the chills as you were just saying that. And so that's fantastic. Wow.
I believe I have I have the Amazon review actually screenshotted on my computer if you want me to read it.
I'd love to if you don't mind. I mean, do you mind reading it?
Yeah, I mean it's anonymous, so I don't know who. Okay, so I'll read it right here. The other night, I went out to a club, put this cover over my drink like I always do. I was dancing, sipping through the straw, having a great time. As we're headed through the better lit lobby, I notice a half crumbled pill on the cover. Someone obviously tried to drop something in my drink in the dark. I don't want to think about what could have happened if I didn't have this little gadget. I'm buying one for all my female friends, and sure as hell never going clubbing without it.
Wow, that's man, I'm telling you, my heart hurts. I know that sounds weird, but the fact that you guys created something, and didn't give up along the way. I mean, here's the other side too. Again, your business being successful, all that stuff is fantastic, but I'm sure you guys had hundreds of opportunities to give up before Shark Tank, before all of this stuff happened. And the fact that you guys didn't means that person didn't get taken advantage of. And to your point, possibly hundreds of people didn't. So, man, does that do something to you guys? Because it does something to me. So.
Yeah, it was crazy to see that. And back in the day, I think so. How I was saying the sales on the show month by month, but before that, for example, February of 2020, we did $900 in total sales. So at a point like that, when you've been doing it for 4 or 5 months already, and you have $900 in sales, it's tough to keep yourself focused on it. But I don't know. I personally just believe that I really thought there was a niche for this product, or there's maybe some people wouldn't use it, but I really thought that there was going to be a certain amount of people that are willing to go out and take initiative to protect themselves from this, and B, that this product is the answer to that, because it's wearable and it's reusable and it's a scrunchie. It's a fun thing. And so those are the 3 things, it's almost creating a comfortable environment with the scrunchy part of it, where it's not, you're not being scared into using it. And I just thought that those 3 aspects of the product would win out in the end, and that we'd find a way to be able to, get it in front of everyone. And we have for sure with TikTok and Shark Tank.
Right. Did you guys ever think about giving up? I mean, was there thoughts where like family meetings where you're like, I just don't want to do this anymore? I mean, did you guys have some of those?
I mean, during the Indiegogo, it was definitely hard. Like some days when you're just, when you do like, I don't know if you did a crowdfunding campaign at all for anything, but like the first day you're expecting like a huge bump, like because of like family and friends, and you're like, oh, like we're gonna knock most of this whole thing out, because we didn't have like a huge goal, but we're gonna knock most of this out just with family and friends. And I think on that first day we did like $700, and I was like, oh, okay, well we have 700, and we have 11,000, over 11,000 to go, and we already used up all of our friends and family, and so where does the other 11,000 come from? Like, even though it was like a good day of like initial sales, like it was not. You realize that like, wait, I don't know how to get the rest of this. Like, what I don't know what to do here, and it came in very slowly. And if it wasn't for going on Fox Business during that we got invited on Fox Business during that crowdfunding campaign. If it wasn't for that, we would have never finished it. And that was kind of, that was almost like a blessing, like an angel sent down to like get us through that like one tough time to push us through it. But yeah, there was a lot of times where it's just like in the beginning where it's like, wow, like, we can't sell one of these for anything.
Now, do you think it was, your passion for being successful, or your passion, like the mission to help people? Like to you, which of those will keep you motivated going forward? And again, there's no wrong answer there. I'm just curious what yours is.
I think since it's something that we're both really passionate for, it makes it, kind of both, because it's like we're able to be successful while doing something that helps other people. So I think both of them, like, but I mean, it's for me, like, I kind of can't really even wrap my head around like how much of a difference we're actually making. So I think that's really cool in general. And
Yeah, it's the best kind of business where you can, we get to be on our own schedules and do what we want and kind of build our own vision while also being able to, save lives and help people and make a difference. And it's like a nonprofit, but you make money, and so it's
Right.
like I don't know, it's the best of both worlds, really.
So, when you guys were now, first of all, just to give some people some context, how old were you guys when you started the company?
I was 16 and you were...
I was 20. I was 20. I was 21.
21 and 16.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did as you guys were thinking about this and dreaming about this and starting the business, like, did you ever think that you would have, even the level of success that you have now, let alone where I'm sure your company's going to go in the future? I mean, is it was that a dream that you had?
When I thought of the idea, the next morning, like when I was really talking about it, like my thoughts were kind of like, oh, I know this is gonna be really big. Like, I know that people are gonna need this. And I still don't know exactly to what extent of how big, but now, like, going through the steps, like seeing everything actually come together and like doing everything and getting investors, and it's just like basically everything that I thought is just coming together. So yes, the answer is yes. But Michael, go ahead.
At the beginning, I thought so at the beginning, and then in the middle, I was like, maybe not. Like, I don't know, probably not. But there's hope. And then now it's like, oh yeah, I was right. So yeah. In the beginning, yeah, I did think that.
So what's next for you guys? So you got Shark Tank, you got Lori in your corner, which makes us kind of like cousins or something like that, or like step siblings, because Lori's a partner of ours too. So, but what's next? I mean, I know you guys are doing some shows and going out and showing your product off to some people that can get it into the hands of people that need it. But what's the next big dream for you guys as far as NightCapIt goes?
I mean, I can say that getting into universities and sororities and just getting as much distribution on college campuses is our number one goal. Like we're just at a campus safety conference talking with universities, getting them to like buy them in bulk to provide for their students. Like colleges provide condoms and different other types of like safety tools for students for free. So we think this should be one of them. And then
Oh, I can see that. Put the college logo on the top of it. And
exactly.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to, we'll want to start getting into more retail stores, and then we're opening distribution, Amazon in the UK and EU, and we think because we drive so many sales, or we drive so much web traffic from Europe because of TikTok, but it has a very low conversion rate because of the shipping costs and all that stuff. We think it's going to be a huge hit over there, so we're going to be opening like Amazon there in about 2 weeks. And then we really want to get into the music industry with festivals and stuff like that, because festivals is really like, that's probably where the most druggings happen there. And so we just partnered with another celebrity investor who's going to help us get it into the music industry, and we're really excited about that.
That's exciting. Anything that you can talk about, or is it still kind of hush hush?
We're going to be announcing it in the next few days, but it's Julia Michaels, and she's a singer.
Yeah.
She's a big time songwriter, and
Yeah.
she's on the uprise in her music career. So she reached out to us after Shark Tank, and she was just as passionate as Lori about it, and she wanted to join the team. So we're excited to get into the music industry with her.
Again, I don't know if this has hit you guys, but where you guys are, like the trajectory that you're on here, with celebrities, jumping on board, asking to be a part of your company. Man, I'm so proud of you guys. I mean, I know that I know that we just met, but it's just, I just feel like it's I don't know. You guys are, people should look up to you. Young people should look up to what you guys are doing, and because you guys have it all. You're helping people. You're growing your business, and you're doing it the right way. I mean, you guys aren't like millions of dollars in debt. I mean, you're doing this, very intelligently, and congratulations. I mean, it's really something to see.
Yeah, thank you. And personally, I'm excited too. I'll be graduating from my master's program in 3 days, and this will be the first time either of us is full time working on this company full time. We've been doing this while we're both in school, and so just the ability to put your full focus in this and start traveling and doing in-person events, and also it's been, we've had coronavirus the whole time. This is a social product,
right?
When people, you'd think naturally when people start going out more, the sales will naturally increase. And this product has somewhat like exponential growth, where the more it's used, it's being used out in public, right? It's being used at bars and parties. So like if you're using it, someone's going to see you using it, and so it's its own marketing, really. And so the more people that have it, the more people that are going to see it, and the more people that are going to want to get it. And so with COVID ending, and a lot of exciting opportunities coming up.
Well, like I said, I think you guys are doing a great job. Tell everyone how they can buy one for their friends, family, pretty much any woman that they know that goes out and has a drink somewhere. They should buy one of these for them. What's the best way of doing that?
That would be to go to NightCapIt.com, and that'll follow us on TikTok at NightCapIt, follow us on Instagram at NightCapIt, and that's the best way to get it.
And we will be coming out with pink and blue soon.
Yes, pink and blue will be dropping either probably Friday or Monday. So we're excited to add our 2 new colors because
Nice.
everyone's been asking for pink. So finally get to bring pink out to the world.
What they want.
So if we have one of the buyers from, some of these big retail places like Spencer's Gifts or, Home Goods or any of those places that might want this, how do they reach out to you guys? Because you guys are going to get one of those deals that's just going to put this in everybody's hands. So what's the best way of can I just get a hold of you through the website or an email address, or what's the best way?
Yeah, so we have a wholesale tab on our website, and you can just go to the wholesale form and fill out the form at the bottom, and just mention that you're with Spencer's or Home Goods or Walmart or whoever you're with, or if you're a small business, like we sell to like a lot of boutiques and salons and stuff that like to sell them. Any size business, you can go to the wholesale page, or if you're with like a sorority or a school and you want to order them in bulk, you can also go to that page and fill out that form as well.
Yeah, so even if you're not one of those people, but you know somebody who knows somebody, let them know about this product, because we got to get the word out and try to help as many people as possible. So, well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with me. I'm so excited to watch your journey and to see where you guys go next. I'm really excited for you.
Thanks for having us. Love the show. Love the show idea.
Great.
Excited to listen to more of them in the future.
Well, I appreciate you guys being one of the listeners. So thanks again.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Lessons from the Tank. If you got value from today's podcast, we encourage you to subscribe to the podcast so you're notified when a new episode is posted. If you'd like to support our podcast, we encourage you to review it and share it with a friend. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode.